Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today I'm going to be doing a page of my 6x16 a weekly journal. This is a sort of use it up page. You can see I've got this piece in the background already, and it's an Art by Marlene stencil that I've used sort of to remove paint in the background, a technique you've probably seen on my channel a few times, but it just had that beautiful sort of crown-like effect on the right hand page that I thought I really would love to see a figure with that, because I think I'd make a cool sort of hat or a crown or something radiating out of her head. So that's what I decided to do. So I'm using the techniques taught to me in a recent class I took with Tracy Scott. Just doing some simple face mapping and drawing out my figure. You can see me dividing up my page and then drawing in the eyes, the nose and the mouth just to get an idea of where they are. I'm using a Stabilo oil pencil to do that. I tend to like sketching with the Stabilo oil pencil because if I really don't like it, I can use a wet wipe or something to wipe it away, because in most cases I draw over acrylic paint, which is already permanent. I've already heat set it. If you are certainly working over watercolors, something like that, I would use a different type of sketching pencil, because if you tried to remove it, obviously you're going to remove the paint underneath as well. So you can rub out the Stabilo oil pencil as well, which is what I was just doing there. Yeah, I could use a normal grey lead pencil. I don't tend to, because I'm a bit heavy-handed and I tend to indent the page. I find the Stabilo for me for sketching is a lot softer, so I get a better effect. So now all I'm doing is going in and putting in some highlights on the face. Again, something that Tracy taught us how to do. But I have, when I was doing it, and it's something that's I think James Luke Burke Creative, if you follow his channel, has mentioned before in the past as well. If you want to learn to draw faces or know where shading goes on faces, watch some makeup tutorials. Or if you know about makeup, you will know how to do this. Now I am not, I love makeup. Don't wear it very often, but I love it. But I've never been very good with the highlighting and contouring. But if you notice the highlighting on that face, it's very much like one of those highlighting, contouring faces that you see on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever you sort of see them pop up. So if you watch some of those videos, it gives you a really good understanding of where the light bits of your face need to be and where the darker bits need to be, so you can shape the face, because that's exactly what you're doing when you're drawing. You don't have the 3D features, so you need to actually put them in, and that's what they're doing when they're applying makeup. They're sort of changing the shapes of noses and chins and so on by the way they apply the makeup. So if that is helpful to you, or if you're already a makeup connoisseur and do that yourself, hopefully that might help you work out where you're going to put your shadows and your contrasts and your highlights and contouring on a face. So for this, I'm working in sort of purples and pinks and peaches for my face. So I'm working in dark purples for my shadows. I really like using purples for shadows. I don't know why. It's just a colour I tend to go to when I'm using shadows. Yeah, but you could use any colour, it really doesn't matter. And again, in Tracy's class, she's talking to us about it, and she's got beautiful examples where she's done the shading with pinks and greens and all sorts. So you can really sort of let your imagination fly, because it is a whimsical type illustration. It really doesn't matter if it's not correct. It's just how it works. And I suppose because I've got that really bright pink hair, the purple works with it. So I'm just fiddling around, taking my time, making sure I'm really happy with the face, and I was. This is sort of the first time I'd really done a full face like this. It wasn't in the class setting, and I was really happy that it worked the way I wanted it to, and it actually looked the way it was supposed to. And I actually found in the Dina Wakley journal, because it's got the beautiful texture of the paper, it gave a beautiful texture to the colour pencils as well. So yeah, that's how it was. So now I'm just going in and colouring in the hair as well. So putting in some darker bits and lighter bits and working on it. The paints that I've used for my base of the face are the Paper Artsy ones. They're a really, really matte paint, so it's got great tooth for the colour pencil to sit over the top. And you can see I'm mostly colouring in all the hair, and you think, oh, that's a bit crazy because you've got, you know, the pink in the background, but the colour from the background comes through and intensifies, I suppose, the colour pencil you're putting over the top. So it's important for it to be there, but you're certainly adding some more shading over it as well. So that's this page really. You can see me fiddling around with colour pencils. So I haven't, I'm not really aficionado with colour pencils, I have to say. They are something I've only just started using in the last 3 to 6 months. And in the last 3 weeks, I've actually got a decent set of colour pencils. These are the Prismacolor pencils, and while I thought I had good colour pencils before, yeah, these are different. I know they're not the best colour pencils, but they're certainly a step up from what I've used before. So it's that old adage of sometimes when you're doing something and getting really frustrated, it may not be you, it may be the supplies that you're using. I know in the past when I've done things like this and I've used my colour pencils on it, it's actually scrubbed away the paint, and I've had to sort of sit there fixing it up and repainting it, and then it looks patchy and it looks really terrible. And it's because the colour, well, I've learnt since, it's because the colour pencil is too hard or too plasticky that it doesn't actually give the tooth, or the paint that I've been using hasn't had enough tooth for the colour pencil to sit over the top. So while we are very good at blaming ourselves for things not working, sometimes it is actually the materials that we are using. And for people who are beginning on this journey with art journaling or with drawing or with doing anything, because we don't have a big budget, we tend to go for the student grade stuff. And sometimes I have learnt over my years of doing this that it's actually worthwhile saving up a bit of money and buying 1 or 2 of the professional things instead. For example, with those colour pencils, I could have bought a big tin of them, but I really didn't know if I was going to use them all that much. So I chose some dark and light colours, or a few different colours that I thought would be really, really useful to me. Now, since using them and using them so much, I actually think I will go back and buy a big tin of them because I can see the value in it. But I don't think I would have seen that if I hadn't had a go at them first. The same with the Paper Artsy paints, for example. I've got lots of acrylic paints. It wasn't until I'd actually played with them and I knew why having that really matte paint was important that I thought, oh yeah, well, I can justify that. I will actually be using it. So when I did this beautiful paint, I was having a bit of a bad day this day. Some lovely messages that come up on Facebook that have thrown me somewhat. So I decided I just needed to remind myself about being positive. And the quote is, positive people have negative thoughts, they just don't let them grow and they don't let them destroy themselves or others. And that was a really important message for me to have that day, because the message I got, or the messages I'd got, had really thrown my creative joy. I had the whole day to create, and I really didn't want to go in there, and I really didn't want to do the things that I usually do. And I thought, no, this is stupid. Don't let it affect you. You do this because you love it, so just get in there and do it. And having that really positive quote to remind me about why I do it. I had so much joy drawing that figure, and I was so happy with how it turned out. I needed to put that quote there saying, you know, this is why you do this. This is why you enjoy doing this. So don't let other people take that away from you with their negativity. So I hope that's helped. Sort of went off on a side rant there. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.